Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find a link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. If you're not a member or if you're not logged into the Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And I understand sometimes even I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make your comments or questions known during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, Saturday at John's, the contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, and share and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification bell. Share the videos, comments. I'm talking about comments below the video. All those help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Okay, it's the equivalent of you going to Starbucks and buying one of their lattes or coffees. So just don't do it once a month and then support us with that money you normally would spend on Starbucks. And that's all we ask for. Matter of fact, I'm a member myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account each and every month, and I don't miss it. And I suspect you won't miss it either. Plus, you'll be supporting your passion. Hopefully, this is something you are passionate about or something you really enjoy. And it's not a lot to ask for. So I'm doing it. So I'm not asking you something I'm not doing myself. So please support this. Now, when you join, you also will receive, as a member, you'll have different, when we see you on the chat box, we'll be able to distinguish you because you have a certain thing next to your name that identifies you as a supporting patron. Also, you have access to videos that Sparky's put up that are for members only, and you have unlimited access. You can watch them as many times as you want. Okay. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I have my own channel. It's called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you go there, you can communicate with me and ask me questions and comments, and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. Because on this channel, I'm only doing the shows twice a week. I don't really check the comments. That's Sparky's thing. So if you want to get in touch with me, please go to my YouTube channel and comment away or question away, and I'll get back to you. If you locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, it's this video which Sparky shot of me flying his Junar XL at the at the Nationals. And if you do that, I will receive a notification right away and be able to respond to you very quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't do things or use words you wouldn't normally say around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to go now to Stunthangar forum and post the link so that you can get in here. That's how you get in. You go to the Stunthangar forum, and there'll be a link that's posted with today's date, Monday, January 16th, 2023. And there's a link there, and that's how you get in. All right. So I do get some questions from time to time. People want to know how to get in there. And that is how you do it. Now, Dennis Adamison's already in the chat. And he says, good evening, Charles. Like delivered. Thank you very much, Dennis, for that. Appreciate that. And now I'm heading over to the what I call the control panel. It's actually the YouTube studio, but control panel sounds better. Yeah, I'm sporting today is Martin Luther King celebration or holiday. And I'm supporting, it says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. It's from Martin Luther King. And let's see here. I'm making my way to the control panel. Just give me a second. Be right there. So far, we have 11 concurrent viewers, 5 likes. So if you have not smashed the like button, please smash the like button. It won't cost you a penny. And we appreciate Mark Gerber is the first one in here. He's making his way in here right now, and that's fantastic. I'm glad, obviously he's feeling better. I know he was under the weather for a while. So we'll get this show going. And then I see McBride, he says, Charles, no flying in Vegas, lots of rain too. Oh, yeah, I bet. Man, I tell you, this system has just been unbelievable. I'm not sure what to expect when it starts to be sunny. I think the grass is going to be so long, and I think there's not going to be enough time to get the moisture out. So I don't know what's going to be in store for us. Hello, Mark Gerber. Thank you for coming in.
Hello, Charles.
I'm glad you're feeling better, obviously.
Well, yeah, not 100% yet, but I'm getting there.
Good. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate that. Especially when you come in early like this, it really helps me out. I don't have to do a dog and pony show or think of something to talk about to fill this space. So I appreciate it. So how are things in Colorado? Are you getting parts of this system that we're experiencing out here?
Yeah, it's supposed to hit us tomorrow night.
Wow. Well,
we're going to get 3 to 5 inches of snow out of it. So,
wow.
That was the last forecast I saw. That's not a lot of snow for Colorado, but
wow,
it'll make driving a little tricky.
Yeah, I bet. So you've been done any work on any airplanes or anything in your shop?
Yeah, I put primer on my Bearcat today again.
Oh, cool. Now, what primer are you using?
Using the Class Coat.
All right.
Epoxy finish all the way. So I'm using the Class Coat primer.
Oh, wow. Very cool. I've never even seen the Class Coat primer. So do you sand most of it off?
I try to.
Good. Hey, Tryon, thanks for coming in. How you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good, Tryon.
So
it looks like Dennis is making his way in here. He'll be here shortly.
Are you guys in California getting rain? Is that what I see?
Yes, but I'm a little bit south of the brunt of it, fortunately. I mean, we do have, I've seen flooding, but it's not as severe as probably as the news is showing in the northern part of California or in Ventura area. Hey, Dennis Adamison, thanks for coming in.
Hi, Dennis.
Honor to be here. I try and Mark, good to see you.
Hello.
I've been playing hooky from our project, but I'll show you why in a little bit. So
good. Oh, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Anybody?
Mark and I are working on a project. And I've been going back and forth on it. It's like that game of tag or something like that. And right now I'm it, so I gotta do the stuff and send it back out. So
What project?
we're working on some rules, trying to straighten out the old time stunt rules. There's some issues there. So
Okay.
it's kind of hard. Yeah, the rules have been there since 1952. Now we got issues. Well, they had issues in 1952. They just didn't fix them. So
We've kind of been ignoring some of them too.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
So it's like you get to the point, says, okay, you want to fly old time stunt? Here's the pattern. Now, see the pattern? Now, this is what we really do. All right. So
So I have a comment from Jack Snavely. He says, hello all around the world, just saying hi and enjoying the show. Like added. Thank you very much, Jack. And he has some airplane stickers for me there. And then Gary Sinclair, who is a monitor, he has that blue wrench. So behave. He has the authority there to stomp you out. He provided a like. And yeah, so Dennis is a supporting YouTube member of our channel. And so is Jack Snavely, and so is Gary Sinclair. So you have a special moniker next to your name when you are someone who supports us. I appreciate that. Hey, Caffeine, thanks for coming in, Caffeine. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good.
You
well.
building something, Caffeine?
Not yet, but I've been looking for a kit on eBay, and I have found some of the planes that I'm going to buy, I guess.
that sounds great.
What's
How's your new baby
you-
doing?
What's that? Sorry.
I said, how's your new baby doing?
He's doing good. He's doing great. He can respond to your when you try to mimic, like making funny faces, and then he can see it clearly and start laughing. And yeah, it's a joy to see your
That's
baby
great.
laughing, you know.
That's great. That's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Keeping you busy too, I'm sure. So
Yeah. Keeping me busy.
Boy, girl?
Last time with the plane. It's a boy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I will have my flying partner in I guess 5-6 years.
Yeah.
5-6 years. Heck, he'll be walking in a year and he'll expect a test flight 6 months after that. You know, come on, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna love doing what daddy does. So
Put a handle in the
Yeah.
crib so he can get used to it.
mhm.
Yeah. Sure. I would do that.
I saw a little a 2-year-old flying an RC plane, and at 4 years old he was flying a helicopter RC, doing very good at it. I was like, what? Crazy.
You can't do that,
Crazy.
right?
Yeah.
But wait a minute. He's doing no, you can't do that. Oh well.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep.
So I understand that Mark Gerber's been painting his new plane. Anybody else doing any work in the shop?
Yeah, I got some. Mark, is that Bearcat? Is that going to Tucson this year?
No, neither is Mark.
Oh, neither is Mark. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I was off to a rousing start here, but I had some trouble with my wing jig.
Oh, wow. Look at that beautiful Corsair.
What, you don't have a bent wing jig?
I don't know. I tried to make the wing straight and look what I got. I mean,
Oh my God, your wing jig is crap, man. You gotta get a better wing jig.
that's
Very
it.
nice.
That's it.
That's looking good, Dennis.
It was really fun trying to get those tubes in and out of those holes too. You know what I mean? Or just around the corner and everything.
Yeah, very nice.
So you have some kind of bearing tubes in there to guide the wires?
It's it's actually built on a design to use a tube style jig. and it's beautifully set up. Each half of the wing, you can build each half with the rods going straight through. It does not go across the center. There's too much for it to do it all the way. You can
Yes.
do each half, and then you have to do a joint in the center. So,
Mhm.
so, and actually, I showed this last show. I had built
Mhm.
just the center section because I wanted to. I decided that would be the best way to do it. I was going to build the center section and then build each wing off of that. You
Mhm.
know. So here we go. But I just started putting it, the outer panel. I started building it last night and finished it up just before we came on the air here, or finished it to this far. So
Hey, it looks real
tomorrow
good,
it'll
Dennis.
have an outboard panel and start worrying about things like how the lead outs are going to fit through there. So
Yeah, very nice.
Exact. That was my question. Where the leaders gonna go? I mean, you have some kind of guide tubings for them.
No, it's actually supposed to work straight. You mount the bell crank very low, right, just above the platform, and then the
Uh-huh.
lead outs actually are supposed to come out just a little below center at the wingtip,
Mm-hmm.
1/4 inch below center.
Mm.
And the layout
Mhm.
says it's going to fit. So here's the critical point, of course, is this rib right in the middle.
Mhm.
And I'm prepared to put some kind of a rub or something on there. You know what I mean? Piece of plastic tubing or something like that if need be. But we'll see.
Oh,
Who's
Dennis,
design-
if you have to make that super thin over there, okay, take some carbon fiber tow, right?
Mhm.
Cut about whatever length you need there, like 2-3 inches or so. Wet it out and put it in paper towels and smoosh it real good over there. So it's gonna suck all the epoxy out of it. And then where you have the cap strip, just put them in a corner and left and right, and it's gonna give you a nice rigid area underneath. And if you have to grind it down to the cap strip to clear whatever you have over there, you'll still maintain the structural rigidity in the area too.
Yeah.
At
Right
least
now,
for
and
the rib
you
part
hit
of
it
it.
on the head. There's it's the rib is very, very thin there. It's basically you take the rib out, it doesn't project below the 1/4 inch spar at all. Okay. And then it gets a little bit thinner actually back here as the airfoil, as the airfoil's tapered back, and there's the back of the opening.
Mhm.
I got throwing one other curve on it. The thing is designed for a 3-inch bell crank, and I just I can't bring myself to use it. And so I'm going to be expanding the lead out openings so I can use a 4-inch bell crank in it. And that'll give me some more excitement, but I don't think it's the end of the world. So
yeah,
we'll see.
and I assume on your flaps you're gonna have some kind of a locky boxes over there.
Something.
Yeah,
It's actually designed to be flapless. This is the Brodak Corsair kit. Was designed not
you're
to
not
have
gonna use
flaps
flaps.
on
Okay,
it.
then forget it.
Yeah.
John has a comment or
Well,
question.
I was wondering whose design it was.
Pat Johnson. Pat
Pat John-
Johnston. Yeah.
Yeah, he does pretty good with his work.
He's he insists it doesn't need flaps and everything like that. And I keep looking at it and say, I don't know, Pat, but we'll see. Never say never, I guess, but I could end up putting something in. I could just bite the bullet. So we'll see.
Anyways, welcome, John. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Good to be here.
All right. And it looks like Stuart is making his way in here. Hey,
All
Stuart. Thank you
right.
for coming in, Stuart.
Hi.
And we have Brent Williams. He says, howdy, guys. He's
Howdy.
He's in the chat box.
Mhm.
So thank you, Brent, for coming into the chat. I mean,
Howdy
So,
doody.
I've been asking everybody if they've been doing any work in the shop or flying. How about you, Stuart? You've been doing anything? And
I'm still working on my Cub. That's it.
well, that's okay.
But
How
it's
about-
I'm getting there.
Yeah, just little by little, inch by inch, and it's a cinch, And
So-
John Miller, how about you? You've been doing any work on CAD programs or been working on real planes or?
Yeah, I spent 8 hours today on the computer working on it. Ran into a couple of problems. Had to do a couple little side things, scale ups and scale downs. I got the. I can show you what I got done today if you want.
Sure. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, the show and tells are always great. We
Yeah.
have Minnesota Mike. He hasn't been in a while. He says, "Anyone know what fuel a Jet 40 runs on?"
Well, you
It's
gotta make it
mostly
so I can-
clots, I think.
Yeah.
Use all clots, and I think it's 22% clots, and the rest is nitro, and
Yeah, the rest is nitro. They
5 to
get a lot of
10%
power out of it
nitro
that way.
and alcohol.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
Charles, you wanna?
I'm making a joke out of it, but my brother was actually helping somebody in pylon racing, and they kept going up in the nitro and everything like that. Finally, they went 20% oil and 80% nitro. They had no methanol in it whatsoever.
I fixed it,
Yeah.
John.
All
And he
right.
said
Whoa.
it ran well and it needled real well and everything like that. And they didn't have any engine troubles that day. So,
Wow, interesting.
yeah, I can't even comprehend it, but,
Yep.
anyhow.
Welcome,
gave
Mark
myself,
Wise. Thank you for coming in.
Hey, Charles.
I gave
And-
myself a New Year's Eve present.
Let me make you big here. What did you burn yourself? Or
Oh,
Oh, it's worse. I cut myself here, and well, all the way through. I had 8 stitches around my finger, but I'm fine now.
so
And
what did you cut
the
yourself
weather
with?
here was nice lately, and I said I finally managed to get out and put my first flights of the year.
Oh, he went flying. Oh, great.
that's
Fantastic.
great. I'm jealous.
Oh, that looks nice.
Thank you.
So John, you lost the Phantom nose wheel since last week. So
Yeah, I cleaned that up. But it was like I'm going along, and I said, well, I better check on this wing cutout, So I checked the distance from here to here was on the wing was 10 inches, 10.522 inches.
mhm.
And the cutout that was here, and all of this showing here, was 10.254 inches. Well, so I had to do a scale up. Well, scale ups have been real simple, but for some reason today, I spent 3 hours before I finally got the scale up going to where I was happy with it. I just kept having to redo it. And I did it this way, I did it that way. But I also got an LA 46 in it, because I think that'll probably be the engine of most likely be in it, for anybody building it.
So the wing is
back-
removable?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the wings are removable, stab and elevators removable.
Very nice.
How do you remove the wings? Oh, I see how. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like their RC setup. Okay.
It's just straight down. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
got it.
but
Uh,
I'd like to get into using a system that everybody else is using.
Profile, full body,
It's full body.
full body. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of go by the Windy Warnowski recipe for a full body IC, and I was wondering, have you considered maybe making a more compact, a smaller cowl? And
Well, there's a reason that Cal said I could do it, but I wanted to get as much air exhaust out of here as I could, hot air exhaust.
yeah.
And I'm going to have a shelf here that the tank sits on.
Uh-huh.
There's enough room here to put a 1/2 inch spacer if you need to move the tank back for weight. There's also plenty of room to move the tank itself somewhat around in here.
Mm.
And when it comes to the electric version of it, you got front mount and you got a battery here that you can move the battery in,
Yeah.
and the shelf here that where you can cool your timer and your all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that was the idea why it's as long as it is. You know, I could make it shorter for it, but what I've got to check, one of the things I want to check is the distance from here to here right now. It's supposed to be 17.5 inches, but it doesn't look like it to me. This is 10.5 to there, and it just doesn't look like it's right. So I'm going to check that out. Anyway, so I'm still playing with that. I relayed out the landing gear after I did the move. I had to move the leading edge to that forward about 1/4 of an inch. And that made, so anyway, I said I put 17 degrees in there, but I also have to wait till I get the wing redone the way I want, find out where the center mean aerodynamic chord is and where the 25% of that to get the actual starting point for the CG, and then I can place the gear where I want. But this is something neat back here. This is something that I learned from, not Sultan guy,
Norm Whittle?
Norm Whittle.
Yeah.
He showed me this little thing here. You just push on this right here and pull it down, and it comes out. It's very quick and easy. So anyway,
I use
that's
that on
where,
all my planes, even on a profile.
yeah, that works so good. I've been using them on
It's
all
so easy to install. I mean, why put screws and blocks and plates and stuff like that when you can just make a simple sandwich of 2 pieces of plywood, maybe a 16th plywood or 1/32, right? And then
Yeah,
you
you
fill it in with balls, with plywood in the other direction to make the box, and some balsa on the outside, and you can put it anywhere.
Exactly.
Super easy.
It's super easy, and it doesn't weigh that much, really.
It's lighter, actually.
Yeah. So it's something that like you, I've gone to where I'm using it everywhere. Let me do something here.
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
John, in Revolutions, I have the same exact setup.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
I do this PDF occasionally because I'm working in black and white and I'm needing to check things like, are my line weights continuous? Are they right, correct? You know, what do I need to pay attention to? You know, and also you get back here, you see I've got a problem there with the dimensioning on this is in the wrong layer. So I wound up with, instead of nice like that, I get a bold one, and that's all right if I want to be bold, but I want to be bold on these part numbers, but not so much on all the rest.
Which
Anyway,
CAD program are you using, John?
I'm using DraftSight.
Okay.
DraftSight Pro. I also downloaded FreeCAD.
God damn it.
FreeCAD. I'm trained with AutoCAD, and so I any program that is really works well with AutoCAD, I find I really like it because I don't have to change anything. You know, it's just the same commands and everything else. I like the way this sits, but if I build it for an LA-46, I'm going to put that 1/2 inch spacer and move it back a little bit. You know. But I don't like I'll put a note on there about it, but I don't like showing it with it because a lot of people don't like to use them. Anyway, that's where it's at.
John, I'm thinking about your take-apart system, in particular the one on a elevator. I know everybody kind of subscribes to this kind of recipe here that you have in yours. Have you ever thought about like a 2-piece elevator?
I haven't, just because I just haven't done it. I know that you use a 2-piece elevator and a 2-piece stab, don't you?
Yeah. So the way I made a 2-piece elevator, I took the center block that goes inside your normal elevator, and what you do, you just drill 1, 2, 3 holes like this through it, right?
Yeah.
Just so you have 3 holes. and then in a front and a back hole, you put tubes through there, some like aluminum tubes or something like that. And inside those aluminum tubes, you're going to have carbon fiber tubes, right? So you build the elevator normally, and the center section has the tubes already installed in it. And when you're done, after you're done building the whole thing, you take a Zona saw, just cutting in 3 pieces. The center piece gets glued inside the fuselage. The other two are joining in with a via the carbon tubes, and it's very, very easy to take in and out and to make. It's just another way of looking at it, and I think it's super light too.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Right,
This is for thought, man.
Yeah, it's food for thought. This is what I'm familiar with right now, and I've been doing for a while. So I'll probably stay with this on this one, at least for a while. But I'm thinking about going with the setup that Sparky uses on his flaps and all that on the rudder here. So I just run a wire and pull that rudder off, so I don't have to have this parting line and this little pin in there, you know, because when this comes off, this bottom part of the rudder stays attached to the fuselage. So it's got, anyway, but it's been fun. I was looking at it today and I was thinking, man, it would be neat if I spaced this a little further forward and brought this forward to it right by here and doubled it and made a parting line there and was able to take that apart. I thought that'd be pretty cool, you know. So it's something I'm thinking about. What I did on Pathfinder 40, Bob Hunt told me about this, is that I don't have, I have just a right angle bend on the wire and a carbon fiber tube coming back to a ball link in the back, or I think I've got a clevis pin. And what it does is when this is up in place, it can't back up. First I'll put the point going to the outside, so centripetal force pushes it to the outside. But if it was to try to get it, can't get far enough to release off the horn until I drop the wing down. Then I can move it over, disconnects. It's super easy. And the horn here is actually on the outside, the other side of the fuselage. I didn't want to have to put a window or anything in there. I wanted it to be able to be adjusted quick and easily. So that's how that worked out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep that feature on it. I like it. So anyway, I'll quit sharing now and let you guys get back. I appreciate your comments though, Tran. And
no, you're welcome, man.
I'm always looking. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dennis. I'm always looking for better ways of doing things, you know.
Looks nice.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Thank you.
Mhm. Well, your drawings are always works of art, or works as John, as the case may be, but you just do a beautiful all your stuff is just beautifully laid out. And so it's a real pleasure to see that. The CAD work I've been doing, I've never figured out how to do layers. How do you do layers, and how do you make them work for you and stuff like that?
Oh, well, that's easy. You're running draft site as well, right?
Right.
Okay, well, in draft site, there's a button, a pull down up at the top that
Right.
says format. And you open format and it comes down and it says layers. I think it's the first one you want is the layers.
Yeah, there's there are base layers and stuff. I understand that the drawings I get from people are set up in layers and stuff, but I can't really see the logic and how they put it. You know, like why did they put something in this layer and something else in that layer and something in another layer?
Well, some people put each of their assemblies on a separate layer, and they do that so that it makes it easier as you're when you're at the end of the thing to take and make individual parts for those individual assemblies. I don't do it that way. I make it kind of like the old school. You know, I like to have my object line will have a 28 to 30 thousandths line for the object line. So it really defines the object, it's the shape of the object. But I use a 12 to 20% or 20 thousandths line for dimensions, center lines, hidden lines, things like that. And for phantom lines, I use an even narrower one, a 5 thousandths line. So it's just barely there. Like that engine, that OSLA 46, that's got a 5 thousandths line. So it's just barely there because I don't like putting it in hidden lines. It just doesn't look right to me, you know.
It all depends what. Yeah, it also all depends what's your scope. You can put the fuselage geometry on one layer, or maybe you want to break down the fuselage geometry and put one layer for the panels, one layer for the another layer for the side, everything else, right? On the wing, you can put the ribs on one layer, and so the idea is that if you turn the layers on and off, you can have quick access to certain things, whatever those things might be.
Yeah, I think the only time I've used layers is I've done a couple of overlay drawings where I'll put a drawing in there and try to trace it. And I was at least, cognizant of taking, the drawing that I was the one that I was tracing from and putting it on its own layer so I could turn it on and off.
Yeah, see, that's another use for it.
Yeah, but I haven't, I just haven't got it, when I'm like the conversion kits and stuff, they're all basically one layer drawings, and when I'm drawing them, I'm using all kind of different colors and stuff like that, and that's how I keep it straight.
That's how I do it. That's the old school way. I'll use different colors for different layers, and when I need to pull out specific parts, I turn off layers. Okay.
Yeah.
And just like what Trey was saying, but my layers are all on the one drawing.
Yes.
And
all drawings will make one. All layers will make one drawing, right? Whatever you put on each layer all depends on your technique and what you want to accomplish.
Exactly.
Like for example, John's technique it's obvious. He likes to have all the line thickness on one layer. Each line thickness has its own layer, basically, right? From what I understand. So you can, when you edit that, you edit the whole thing and you change all the lines at one time, kind of thing, probably. So that's that's the method to his madness, after all.
that and the colors help to keep track of which layer I'm using.
I did finally caught on what you were talking about when you want to go PDF, turn off all the colors, make it a simple black and white, and that's the only way to survive. Do you make it a black and white, or you try to make it a grayscale at PDF? I've been trying to make it
I make it a black and white.
Yeah.
I make it a black and white because I want there to be a huge amount of difference between what's
I still have some trouble sometimes getting the things to show, but no matter. I think it might have, I need to pay more attention to, I'm using just defaults on line weights and stuff like that. I'm not, so I need to go in and do like you were talking about, and, maybe doctor up the line weights a little bit. So
I've seen your work, Danny, and your work's good.
Yeah, my work is it gets the job done. Yours is great. All right. Let's just let it go at that. Yours is beautiful stuff. Mine is serviceable. So, but thank you for that.
Well,
let me interrupt for a second. Let me just catch up. I'm really behind. Let me welcome Gary Sinclair. Thank you for coming in. And Philip, thank you for coming in, Philip Bailey. And Gordon Delaney, thank you for coming in. And Lynn Burrell, thank you for coming in. And Keith Trossel, thank you for coming in. Mike Lonke, thank you for coming in. And we have some comments. I know you answered this question already, John, because Brent Williams asked, how long is the nose joint? And you said it was 10.5 inches, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then T-Bone 1260. He says, "Hope all is well, gentlemen. Like provided, thank you." And then he goes on to say, "Nice looking plane, John."
Thank you.
So we're all caught up, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
It's based on Gordon Delaney's Pathfinder. I mean,
Did you say the nose moment on that thing is 10.5 now?
let me check. Let me measure it. Hold on a minute here.
Go ahead, Stuart. What's your question, Stuart?
Well, when they're done here, I got a couple of things I want to go over.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, sounds like we're in trouble.
Yeah.
No, it does sound like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get reprimanded for something or rebuked.
Do
Oh Lord.
you want me to get started, or you guys
Yeah,
done?
go for it.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. John's just going to verify a measurement for us.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So quick and dirty, when I went out flying yesterday, I put a couple of flights, the normal ones, and after that I said, and I have added a little bit of tip weight to it, and to my surprise, like it made a big change towards the better. And I said, well, if it holds on the line so nice, I said I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. So I slowed it down to about 5.4. And I was very, very happy with how comfortable it was at that speed, and burning one more flight, calibrating, and flying normally, and it was a good day for me. I'm actually it turned out good.
Very good. Let me welcome Joe Gilbert. Thank you, Joe, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Hey, Joe.
Hello.
So you're going to show us something, Stuart?
Yeah, I got just something to put for Mark, and then I got two other things. This was a little packet they gave me for a boat.
Let me make you big here.
So it's
For a
got
boat?
mill in there and everything. And here's the instructions they have for it. So they got everything here displayed on the
Oh,
part.
this is so
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And then
Oh, wow.
this is the assembly. So
Oh my
it
goodness.
depends on what you do, Mark, and how far you want to go with everything, right? So
Yeah.
there was a few things there. So it was a toy show. So we had displayed our airplanes there. So but it was okay. Okay, next would be the little Snoopy deal.
Yeah.
Went to the post
Oh.
office. I wasn't sure what they meant by these packets to send stuff to the US. So this was the box I priced with one. And to California, it was 982, and that was without tracking, and it was 1625 with tracking. So I don't know if it's worth putting the tracking on it.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Now, the first guy that did this up, he didn't want to print these out. So Bob didn't want to do it. So actually, Jeff, another guy in our club, our RC club, he sounds like he's going to print them for me. I text him
Nice.
back a little bit. So this is going to take a few weeks or so. I don't know how long. But I would assume the best thing to do would be for me to box these up and then just send them, do the $10 delivery fee thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you guys want to pay me, but
We can pay you with PayPal or if you,
You have a PayPal account?
yeah, I got to look into that because I haven't used it in a while. So I'll let
Look
you
into
know.
that. That's the easiest way.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got some filament to do these, so I'm not going to charge for that, and I don't think Jeff's going to charge me. I don't know. We'll see, but so it might only be about $10 a person, hopefully. So
Be
That's
great.
great.
I got an airplane that's just waiting for that thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while. So it's going to
Yeah.
take 10 days for delivery once it's. There's
Yeah,
only
it
one.
has to go through customs.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's cheap enough. So if I put $2 on it, I
Yeah.
mean, they probably won't even bother. The other thing
Maybe-
was
Maybe Len would deliver them to all of us.
he might.
I'll
He can
start
live in my
walking
RC
now.
plane and he could fly it.
I just wanted to wake him up.
Oh, no. If you want, it's easy to wake up, Len. You know, just talk about electric planes.
Yeah.
No. That does
That
fly all
bores
over
him to
it.
sleep, Tran. You
One
want
other
to wake
question I got,
if you
if
want
I
to wake
could.
Len up, all you got to do is mention a tune pipe 76.
Yeah,
And he's wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
turn it on.
Hey, Naomi.
36, LA
Hi,
40,
Naomi.
head screws and the case back screw, the four in the back of the engine. Does anybody know the exact size of those? Okay. Does anybody ever order them from what are they called? The McMaster car?
Yeah, I can tell you in a second, Stuart. Hold on, because I got them in a box and I kept the little label because I changed all of mine out. Give me a second.
Sure.
Hey, Al. Thanks for coming in, Al.
Hello?
I saw your video today. That thing was screaming.
Out there doing some flying.
That wasn't flying. That was screaming. Y'all were just trying to keep up with those bloody things.
Yeah, I saw your video, Al.
You let go of it, and it was on the other side of the circle.
Oh, the Super Satan.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Nelson 36 and a little plane like that. Geez, whiskers, man.
Well,
Y'all
actually, I
crazy.
like the big Satan because it really takes advantage. It really absorbs the power that engine's got and just delivers spectacular, performance.
Especially
More
with
so than the little airplanes did. Those big airplanes look like a blast to fly. My gosh.
especially with Nelson on the front of it.
Yeah. There's not enough air. There's more than enough to overcome the size of the airplanes, and they just haul and turn and everything like that. That's spectacular.
And a national advanced stunt champion on the handle.
Yeah. I tried a Voodoo with a Super Tiger 35 Combat on a suction tank. Not a bladder, a suction tank. And it about screwed me in the ground. So y'all have that Nelson 36 stuff.
Well, that's the thing. You don't stand still, Phil.
Had a sword fight.
That's it. That's it. You stand. What
You
you do
gotta
is you
let the
stand
arm
still and
do
you
the
fly
work.
the airplane. That's what it's supposed to do, man.
It's all in a wrist.
That's
Well,
right.
I had one of the fellas from Virginia try to show me how to do it. And he took off with a half A. And he's looking over here at me and he's flying lazy eights over here. Yeah, if I did that, the plane would be in the ground. I just, no thanks.
Well, the modern half A's, it'll give you like the same lap time as the like a Nelson Fast. It's maybe even quicker. Like reaction. I'm talking reaction time. So that's a good way to practice before you step up to something really,
The fastest thing I think I ever tried to fly, other than a speed model, was a little combat job. I don't know what it's called, but it's about the same size as a little Satan, with a one little Russian VA 049s on it with, I think it was 20% nitro. The other guys were flying on 40, and I said no. I used the 20, and it still, everybody was laughing at me. I kept it out of the dirt. I didn't crash it. But I was so dizzy when that thing finally landed in the grass. I'd sit down right there and just sit there for a minute till the world decided to stand still for a minute.
Wow.
Man, that was too much.
They'll get behind your head in a hurry. That's for sure.
I mean that.
Yeah.
I learned how to do overhead eights. Didn't have a choice. Man, that thing was something else.
I got a quick story.
Alrighty, and then we'll get Mark Wise going to show us probably show and tell. Go ahead, Gordon.
Okay, a couple years ago, we were flying my fast combat planes, and we clocked him up here at 125, and that's flying at 6 feet, not at 45. And we'd been flying my FAI ship running 40% nitro, and Roger decided he was going to help out, so he pulled fuel out and put 40% in my Nelson.
Ooh, Lordy.
And when it lit off, that sounds strong. I turned him loose. He was flying it. I turned him loose, and partway through, I thought, I bet you put 40% in there. No, normally I run 10% in it. And when he landed, Now that's what I'm talking about. It's all in the mail.
So how fast was it going?
These are 500 square inch combat planes.
How fast do you think it was going, Gordon?
I don't know, but it was hauling. I didn't get a watch. Of course, he was too busy doing things with it. I didn't think about putting a watch on it.
Oh, okay.
I went 10% with 125. With the
Well, the wing on the one that was in my video is bigger. It's like as big or bigger than a Nobler wing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
y'all can have that. That's too much for me.
I don't know what it's on, but nose bump on my Pathfinder's 10 inches.
Yep, you're just the one that I've drawn. The one that I've drawn is 12.2. The one on back here, the old Pathfinder 40 is 9 and 3/8.
Yeah, that's what's on mine.
Yeah, I had to make the nose longer because I wanted to use a Stalker 51 in it, and it with the rear exhaust, it had to have that length, or I'd be stuffing the back end of the muffler in the wing.
Yeah. Well, I decided to stretch mine because it's going to be electric.
I got sizes on LA 46 if he still wants them.
Yeah, go for it.
I got them right here, Joe.
Okay, I look at the chart also. I just brought the engine.
Well, the backplate bolts are M3 by 8.
Correct.
Okay, M3 by 8. The head bolts on a 46 are M3 by 12.
Mine shows 15 on the exploded view.
Sorry, what was that again? For the head?
For the head, I got M3 by 12. And Joe, you know what? I just took one out of an LA46, a stock with the JIS screw in it, and they're 12 millimeter. They're not 15.
This is showing 15 on the LA 46.
Well, I just removed one from a bone stock LA46, the Phillips.
Go on that.
But, 12 is what I've been putting in them. And just for reference too, the LA25, the head bolts is the M3-8. Okay, so the backplate bolts that go in the 40, 46 are the head bolts for an LA25. But the backplate bolts for a 25 are the M2.5.
By
8.
the way,
8.
Do you have your actual stock number on the bag?
I do. Yeah.
Why don't we start out with the 46, the back plate.
The 40 and 46 are identical. So
okay, yeah, but okay.
Backplate bolts, M3 by 8. This is from RTL fasteners too. This is not micro fasteners. This is RTL. Product number is Charlie Mike 3008-50.
3008-50.
Correct.
That's the back. Okay, the head.
The head. Now I'm using 12 millimeter. Joe's saying it's 15 on the diagram, but
pull one out. That's good enough.
I did. I just pulled one out and I put it up against the 12, and that's what it is.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's Charlie Mike 3012-50.
Okay, and then the 25 head.
The 25 head is the same one as the M3 by 8. That's the head bolt for the 25. The Charlie Mike 3008-50. It's the backplate one that's different. It's a 2.5 by 8, and the backplate for the LA25 is Charlie Mike 2508-50.
Okay, and that's RTL.
RTL, yeah, RTLfasteners.com. Romeo Tango Lima Fasteners.com.
Okay, great. I'm gonna get some of those.
Cool deal. Thanks, Mike. That will
Good
help.
job.
Thanks a lot.
I don't own a 46 or a 25 that doesn't have socket head cap screws in it.
Yeah, those are cap screws, right? Not Phillips.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter.
They're socket head cap screws, correct.
That's what I'd rather have.
Alvarez.
I don't like the Phillips for that.
Yeah, neither do
Yeah,
I.
socket heads are the best.
Yeah.
You know what? You could probably even find like a star head.
So I'll just
Oh, why make it more difficult than it already is?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're really fanatic, I'm saying like star heads are the
Always.
best.
Well,
Yeah, hex heads are the next best. Then you have the screwdriver. Phillips is next best, and the flat is, I think, is the worst.
Mhm.
If I
Hey,
was
Mark.
to choose.
Yeah.
Mark Wise, did you want to
Yes,
show
sir.
us the progress you're making on your impact?
Yeah, it won't take long. You guys saw the mold bucks that we made.
Yeah.
Okay, so this I finished this morning. So this is the front view, and it's 3/32 inch. Okay, you can see the size of it. This is the bottom of the fuselage. So it's going to be like that.
Very good.
Okay,
Okay.
nice.
And one thing that saved time was when I got the wood and cut it to the shape, I sprayed it with Windex rather than put it in water.
Yep.
And it just made the bending very, very easy, and it speeded up the dry time.
Oh
The
yeah.
ammonia. The
So,
ammonia
yeah,
breaks
it
down
has
the fibers
ammonia.
quicker.
So I got two of these, one's for the top, one's for the bottom. It's also, I just have them taped because I want to keep the shape, because the next thing on the airplane is to finish the wing. I can't do anything more with this till the wings are in. So I just want to give you an update progress report.
Very good.
It's fun. It's also a great place to sand it when it's on the buck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can get it just perfect. And right now it's a little bit oversized, which is the way I want it. And so it's exciting. It's getting there. Two other quick things, Charles, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I've been getting some calls and inaccurate information about Triple Tree. So Triple Tree in May during Joan All Week, the first weekend is going to be combat events, which I'm really looking forward to. And next Thursday will be a stunt camp, which we've done every year. That's kind of run by Randy, Dave Fitzgerald, and Derek, and a couple others. And then Friday and Saturday will be a contest. Friday will be classic M30 and profile, and Saturday will be CLPA, precision aerobatics. So that's on. Just if you are interested, just look at the website for Triple Tree. Second thing, I'm going to be trying to talk about this from now till July. But the 9th or the 10th of July is a Sunday and Monday. It's the first day and the first 2 days of us being at the Nats flying our competition. And it's also going to be, one of those nights will be our banquet, celebrating the 50th year of Pampa. And our three special guests are, one of them is on here now, that's Keith, along with, who else in that group? Not Bob Hunt.
Jim Bornhall?
John Forhall.
Oh, I don't have it in front of me. Keith, who else is it?
On what?
The three founders, Les McDonald, you, and
Windfall.
Windfall, that's it. And Keith and his group are also going to be presenting the newest members of the Hall of Fame. So we're going to have a nice catered evening. We're going to give each person who's a Pampa member a little memorabilia for the night, talking about the 50th of Pampa. And I'm involved in finding the location and the caterer. Just encouraging you, if whether or not you've been to the Nats, this would be a great time to share a little bit of history.
I don't plan to be there for the 100th.
No.
So this is the one I'm excited about, and I just like to see as much support as we can get. I think we'll have about 75 chairs, and I think they'll go. So it's going to be first come, first serve. As soon as I know the definite date and the cost, I'll put it out and I'll talk about it on here. But it's a great time to support the 50 years, the guys who made it happen, as well as those who are no longer with us that made it happen. I know some others that are coming just because it's the 50th. So I just hope we can get really good attendance and support our hobby. Thank you, Charles.
You're welcome.
I hope 75 is enough, but I don't think it will be. But may I make a suggestion? Get somebody to help you figure out the food. You're a skinny guy. We want a fat guy. They know how to eat.
Well, I don't think we're going to be short on food. It kind of depends on where we have it.
Yeah.
What the catering capabilities are.
Yeah.
So I'd like to have it nice, but I'd like people to be casual and comfortable.
Well, that's better.
Yeah, it is better. We're going to have some nice things there, I think, to catch everyone's eye, and probably have 2 or 3 choices of the main course. I'd be curious. I'd be curious if you guys, I know you're not all going to come, but if you were coming to an event like this, how important to you would it be to have alcohol?
Doesn't matter to me. I'm silly enough sober, so.
I'm an alcoholic. No, just kidding.
Okay. The reason I asked is there are a couple of places that don't allow it. And one of them, I think, is a choice spot. So I just want to get a feedback. It'll probably be 2.5 hours. I think it's really going to be nice. So whether or not you're a Pampa member, you can come. If you're not a Pampa member, you won't get the stuff that a Pampa member will get. And
I will be with them.
So thanks a lot. And I'll make sure there's good fattening food on there, Gordon.
I got to rag you about something, Mark, and there's just, you're a hard guy to rag, but you're a slender guy, and a food guy is always,
I'm 193.
Oh, you're a lightweight. I was 190. I was that when I was in college.
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Mike.
Can I holler at Joe Gilbert again? Can you make me big?
Yeah.
I want to make sure Joe's not making a liar out of me, and I want to make sure.
I know you're right.
No, so I went ahead and pulled another one from a different engine, and
you're right.
The one in this hand is a bone stock out of an LA 46.
Right.
The one on the right is the M312. So
a different LA 46 OSFS or something.
Well, I don't know. I'd just be worried about buying a bunch of 15s and then having them bottom out in a LA 46. You know what I mean?
I'd do what you did because it works.
Because 12 and 15, that's a pretty big difference, I would say. So anyway,
you can always cut him down.
Well,
he's got the right.
I would rather not cut one down, even if you sand the threads off and clean them up, because you don't want to run something in with a burr on it. But that's bone stock out of the motor, and that's what I've been putting in mine forever, and that's an M312. So
that's the right one. My OS LA was something. I messed up.
Hey, Charles, I'd like to show you something that I've been messing with.
All right.
So, you guys know I did the McCoy 35 lightning bolt.
Right.
And I put the Series 21 piston and ring in the lightning bolt. The lightning bolt has a fenced liner.
Yeah, move it a little bit slower, Al. Just a little bit slower.
I don't know. Well, I don't know if you can see inside there, but it has a.
Yeah, we can.
You
Got
see
the
that
window.
fence liner? So I take a brake hone and you know, put a crosshatch on it and put a Series 21 aluminum piston and ring in it. And it's been running really great. I have this one that I run on my Ringmaster, and I have another one that I have like sort of souped up that I put on a Hornet, and I have it under a bladder. And that was the first one I did. And, you know, they have it has fantastic compression. Like you can see, it's
Wow.
you know, it bounces back.
Now, when you're saying Series 21, what is that, Albs? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the Series 21 is the brick engine. The testers, it's a brick. It looks like the brick, the ugly looking.
It's all squares.
Yeah.
They're really heavy. This weighs 7.5 ounces. Okay.
All right.
So I figured, you know, what the heck, I bought. So I said, let me try a 40. So this is, you know, they have the 40 RCs.
Mm-hmm.
You can see
RC40.
Yep. I took the carb off it. I put it on my Ringmaster and put a Venturi on it. Right. And I flew it, you know, this Sunday, even though we had 20-mile-an-hour winds. And I tell you, the 40, it just four-stroked around. It was running like it didn't even have any load on it. It was like, you know, just, you know, cruising along, you know, and in the overhead eights and everything, and it ran really, really nice, you know. So I only put three flights on it, but it's and it, you know, I'm using a clunk tank. You know, the tank was, I used the plane as a test bed because it was already all set up with the 35 on it. But really, you know,
nice.
really good. So this is actually 265, and then it has the McCoy spray bar in it, which is very little. It's it might be even under 130 diameter. You know, like smaller than a Fox. So the overall is about 280. Just, I mean, you know, similar to what we run on a LA 46, but it really, it's a great modification. That's a great engine, and like I said, 7.5 ounces.
Now, has that got the Series 21 liner also? Do you change the liner, piston, and rod?
No, you use the lightning bolt comes with the fenced liner in it.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
So you use the Series 21 piston and ring, and the only, you know, you have to hone it. The only real machine work you have to do is the stock pin. You are using the stock rod, but the stock pin is a little bit bigger than the Series 21 pistons, you know, pin. So I have to open up the piston just a little bit, like a thousandths or two, to accept the wrist pin, you know, from the steel, you know, from the steel piston.
And so are you using a Raymer to do that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it's, you know, it's easy to do. You know, no special tools. You need a brake hone though, you know, for a wheel cylinder brake hone.
Yep.
So, you know, you put the cross hatch on that piston and you clean it up, put the cross hatch on there, and then, you know, use a lot of oil and then clean it real good, soap and water and everything, oil it up, and then, you know, use the same, you know, crank rod wrist pin from the original engine. And then you're using the piston and ring from the Series 21. So it becomes sort of like a K and B engine, you know.
All right. Dennis is trying to show something. Let me
these engines 4-stroke, so great. I mean,
real good.
Real good.
Dennis, you're trying to show us a Series 21?
Yeah, that's a Series
Yeah, there it
21
is.
engine, and Al called it a brick engine. And
Yeah, we call it a brick.
It's that's probably being nice to the brick. I mean, these things are very, very big and heavy and everything like that. No idea why they did it. It just carry a lot of metal in the bottom end for no discernible reason.
Yeah.
Now Al's doing something I never heard of before, and that's interesting. With the there's a lot of people take the whole top end off the Series 21, the fins, the drop-in sleeve and stuff. But you're saying the lightning bolt engines all have windowed sleeves, so all you have to do is put the piston in, huh?
That's correct. Yep, and hone it. Yeah, the lightning bolts come with a fence liner. These both, all these engines, if they're a lightning bolt, have a fence liner.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 35 and this is a 40. Of course, this one hasn't been done yet, so this one still has the steel piston in it.
Yeah.
But it's this one's been modified and it's been run hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
And my other one, I ran it with like 25 nitro in it on the Hornet, just with an 8.8 prop on it, having fun at the Vintage Combat Festival with it.
Yeah.
Saying, my friend came up to me, he said, "Man, if you had that McCoy back in the 50s running like that," he said, you would have won everything.
Yeah, that's about it. I guess I'm a little surprised that, the steel piston, the stock engine, when you put the aluminum piston in, I'm surprised the do-over doesn't, you don't have a vibration issue or anything like that. I know my dad did a 40 and the thing ran like a monster, but, and it
Super
didn't shake,
smooth.
but, yeah.
You just have to make sure your Teflon pads are good on the wrist pins.
Yeah.
Most of them are good. I bought a Teflon rod and I whittle it down. Actually, on this 35, the pads were gone, so I had to whittle down some Teflon rod and put the new pads in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
okay.
And I've gotten some Teflon pads from Jim Lee before. I wonder if they would fit that motor.
They probably got to be made to order. He could make you some, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, Len, you want to say anything?
From him.
No, I was just going to say to Al, if I can get one of each of those motors, would you do one for me?
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah,
I've got a lightning bolt. I have a lightning bolt, but I don't have the other motor. I'm going to have to scrounge around and see if I can find one.
Oh, the RC.
Yeah, sounds like a great motor.
Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah, I can do it.
That'd be great. I'll pay you for it. I don't have a problem. It's just that I don't know how to do any of the machining. I'd bugger it up for sure.
It's not, it's like,
I mean, if I could see somebody who would do it, if I could see somebody doing it, I could probably understand and do it. When you've never done it, it's.
Well, if you ever did a brake job back in the 70s, that's 90% of it. You have to rebuild the wheel cylinders on the drum brakes.
Right.
Al, what's the size? It's a McCoy Lightning Bolt 35 or 40. What is it?
Either one.
These both. This one's a 40. Most of them are RC engines.
Okay.
So I took that off and put a Venturi on it.
But either one, the 35 or the 40, as long as it's a lightning bolt, that's what you're.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got 29 too.
The 29 as well. Okay, so any of the McCoy lightning bolts.
But I never did a 29.
Okay.
But
well, we got a big RC swap meet here in town next Saturday. So I'll put that on my list of stuff to look for, because even at RC swap meet, you dig through a box, man, you find some control line engines occasionally.
Yeah.
For cheap. So
yeah.
I'll be on the lookout.
You mentioned the wrist.
I would take another 40. I got two of them. I know I have to make one for one of my friends. So.
Okay.
You mentioned the wrist pin. Can you, the mod and everything like that, to use the old and the new, can you just use the rod out of the Series 21 engine? Or is it different on the bottom?
You might be able to.
Okay.
But but I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have a Series.
Oh, you didn't have a
21.
whole engine there. Okay.
No, I'm just working. What I did was I ordered the parts from Makoa, and the gasket kit, the ring and the piston. They had that stuff in stock.
Mm-hmm.
I started playing with it, and one of my friends did it. Is that a lightning bolt, Len?
Yeah, it's a lightning bolt. Lightning bolt 40.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you don't even have to change the venturi.
Now I've run this on a block and it runs beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful sounding motor.
Yeah. See, it has the fence liner. You see it in there?
There it is.
Yeah.
Get there.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah, there it is. I can see it.
Yeah.
That's a whole bit. So I mean, yeah, if I can find one of the other ones that's in decent shape, I'll talk to you.
That's pretty rare to get a 40 that doesn't have the carburetor on it.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a control line version, so it should work okay.
Yeah.
So if I can find the other,
but I get no vibration at all.
That's
running.
awesome. If I can find one of the other motors in good shape, I'll talk to you and then I'll see if I can send it to you. That'd be awesome.
How did you just bought a piston from Makoa?
Yeah.
So you can just buy
and a gasket kit.
And a gasket.
I need a piston and a gasket kit. Is that it?
And a ring.
And a ring. Okay. I'll see if I can get that.
I have a Red Hat 40 lightning bolt. I may have to talk to you about doing one for me too. I don't know what for because I'm going electric, but doggone those things. That sounds neat.
They run good just like they are. The 40s do. Golly.
Yeah. I have a 35 that was McGassed.
Yeah.
And you talk about a sweet running, easy starting motor. That one is.
What's the McGass? What does he do to that?
George, I don't know what George did to it. It's George Aldrich did it.
Yeah.
He chromed the piston, and I don't know what all else he did, or maybe it was a liner he chromed. I don't know, but he chromed something. But you can run a muffler on it, and it's the sweetest running motor and smooth running, which they were not really known for in stock form. But that thing has hundreds of flights on it, and it still has compression, still runs great, which again they were not really known for.
Yeah, well, I had my McCoys, from back in my childhood, were just a standard redheads, and boy, they would wear out. You look at them, one lead run and the thing's gone.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I remember. I tried putting a muffler on it, did the same thing, overheat the piston, and
you had to have
Oh yeah, it was all caster back then.
My friend had one to start it. He had a STP, a can STP, and a stick in it. And he'd take this stick out of the STP, stick it in the exhaust port, swirl it around, and then prime it, and then start it. Then,
to get enough compression to get it going. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's, we were like 13, 14 years old, just,
You do what you had to do.
Yeah.
That's right. What's your option? Don't fly.
And that STP worked great.
I had a friend who's gone now, but he saw me running my McCoy 35s back in the 70s, and he decided to go to an RC sale, and you could pick them up for $4 or $5 back then.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were $15 motors, $14 motors new, so you could pick them up cheap back then. But he went and bought one and brought it out to the field, and his only mistake was this motor had been run, and he put synthetic oil in it as fuel.
Oh God, it's over.
Oil. I said, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And I reached over and shut the venturi off. And he couldn't understand. Why did you do that? I finally got it running. No. Pull that fuel out of there and put my caster fuel in it. And he had the hardest time understanding. So a week or two later, my understanding is he went out there and flew with his girlfriend and put that synthetic fuel in it again.
Oh God.
He said, just killed it. He said, it puked black stuff all over my wing, and it's got no compression at all. I said, no, it don't, because you've now got the worn out engine that you really had to start with. It's just there's no caster residue in there to build up your compression.
And another, go ahead. Well, another another benefit of doing the ring modification,
Yeah.
I run 1022 GMA.
All right.
You know,
That's
so
cool.
it's the same, you know, it's the same fuel I use in my LA 46.
That's perfect.
You know, so
Perfect.
and
That's a good
great
deal.
advantage.
Yeah, no more caster sludge. That's awesome.
no, you know, I use the same fuel.
That's
It's
awesome.
Same fuel in the Tiger 46. It's, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, we
Yeah,
found
That's
that.
what, that is
We
a
found it.
plus.
Yeah.
We found out something about this fuel and all this stuff. I have been running for years. I ran Stunt Wagon 60 with Fox 59, which is still in it, but I always had 5% super fuel in it. You know, 5% all caster fuel. Well, Charlie was here last summer and he says, try this in your plane next time. It's 1022, but it's 10% instead of 5%. I thought, well, I thought we were supposed to use the other in the Fox 59. He said, just try it. He said the motor runs cooler, makes a lot more power. It needles so much easier. So if you've talked to me before about a Fox 59 and I told you how mine runs and how I made it run so well, try the GMA 1022 in it and just, you'll love it. Half caster, half synthetic, 1111 and 10% nitro. Runs so much quieter. I'm not quieter. Good Lord, it's not any quieter. But it runs so much smoother and it's so much easier to start, makes so much more power. I'm dropped to 400 RPM just to get through the pattern. It runs, that motor likes to make torque. It likes to grunt and growl. And that 10% just runs so much better. I couldn't believe it. But all I'd ever run in it was 5%. For 30 years, I ran 5% in it. And the 10% will make it just talk to you. It's a lot easier and a lot easier to needle.
That's all I run is 10% and everything.
Yeah.
Guys, let me interrupt for a second. Let me welcome Howard Rush. I know you've been here for a long time, but thanks for coming in, Howard.
Hey, Howard.
I appreciate that. And we got a like from Edward Carlaw. And this is what Martin Luther King's observance of his birthday. I have a shirt here. It has a quote from Martin Luther King. It says, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere."
Everywhere. Yeah. I remember that.
So anyways, continue on.
Well, where in the heck is, there we go.
Now, you know, when that Series 21 came out, it was back in the 80s, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I mean, I could look it up if you really
It
want.
was, and it was a
either
little
late 70s, early 80s.
It was early 70s. It was
Oh,
early
okay.
70s. Yeah.
Yeah, a good friend of mine did that modification, but he used the piston, liner, wrist pin off out of the Series 21 and put that in the lightning bolt. And he has to slot the holes slightly in the liner so they'll line up in the case.
Okay.
So he did it the hard way, it sounds like. But he got the same results. So motor ran awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I did 3 of them. My friend did 1, and he has his in a Nobler.
I wish I had that Blanket a few years ago. My lightning bolt 40 on a practice flight before the contest just went away. I think 25 or 28 straight caster. And after the second practice flight, there's just black going all across the wing.
Yeah, see. My goal here is just to extend the life of this motor like huge. So I think that's a great idea.
Excellent idea.
A lot of fun.
The 1022 fuels is the best part of the
Oh
whole program.
yeah, because you're not sliming your airplane to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it works good. It really works good.
That's outstanding.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us,
Yeah,
Al.
thanks, Al. Much appreciated.
I've
Thanks,
got a
Al. You
couple
do good
lightning
work.
bolts in Series 21. I can do that too.
Good. Yeah, I didn't, like Denny said, maybe you could use probably could use the rod if you check it out of the 21, but I didn't have one. I just just was working with what I had.
Yeah, I have the complete engine on the Series 21.
Yeah, well, I mean, but then you're going to destroy that engine.
I don't care. Not
Oh, okay, well.
That's not destruction. That's urban renewal. So
I don't know that.
What's the weight on the 21 anyway? I bet it's a
That's
bonus
heavy,
here
yeah.
it's
compared to the
about
other
an
one.
ounce heavier.
Yeah, okay.
How much
It's,
was it, Dennis?
something like an ounce heavier for like the 35 and 40 and stuff. The 19s may have been worse. I don't know. I got a bunch of 19s here. My God, they're awful. But
Yeah.
and actually, I'll mention the weight. I'd swag again. I'd swag at the aluminum piston. It might be just a fraction or two lighter than the steel piston overall, right?
It is lighter, but then you
But
also put a ring back on it.
Put the ring back on it. But
yeah,
even
the
the fuel purpose, man.
yeah, think George was saying. I think a lot of people agree with him. The McCoy 40, just from a design standpoint, was probably the single best stunt engine design.
Yep.
With the single worst set of metallurgy.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great design with lousy metallurgy. I mean,
Yeah,
this
the
one
fore
here, I
end.
think, is fairly new. And when I
Yeah.
ran it on the block, it was just sweet. Like, I mean, unbelievably nice.
Yeah,
That's
and
why I
Len, that
really
that
want
thing
to
is
go.
one lean run from being dead. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why as soon as Al came on and started talking about this, I'm going, whoa, 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 this is exactly what I want to hear.
Well,
Yeah.
And another good thing about the lightning bolt is it has a bronze bush case for the crankshaft.
Okay.
Where
Yeah.
the redhead is just aluminum.
Nice. And, I have a question. I'm sure Joe Mata is listening. He really wants to work on engines, and I'm curious, where can you find, those timing type instruments and the torque wrenches to work on engines? If you want to work on engines, where do you get that stuff?
Well, I got my torque wrench at RC, the pylon guy, Caddy, I think it RC.
Katie.
Oh,
CADY.
Yeah.
Does that sound right? Oh,
I believe so.
Does yours read in inch ounces?
He's let me see if I can find it.
And Al, I'm surprised.
also
I always thought you might be one of those Armstrong torque wrench kind of guys. That TLAR, right? That feels about right.
Not after rebuilding Fox 35s. They start binding when I tighten down the head bolts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true.
And what about the timing wheel? If you want to verify the timing or change the
the
timing?
degree wheel.
Yeah.
I use one off of. You could get what's it like a 6-inch degree wheel. Mr. Gasket sells one. It's for a car. Mine's a direct connection one, but yeah, that's what I use to. And then you just make adapters with washers and stuff to put it on the front of the crank.
Well, there you go, Joe. There you go. He
He's
really
getting
wants
serious though. He's talking about retiming and opening up the crankshaft and stuff like that.
He's a gearhead, very much like some of you guys. He's a total gearhead. So
you can get around a 360 degree. I forgot what you call the darn thing now, but anyway, you can get it.
Protractors.
Protractor.
Get a couple of protractors. You can do it.
You can get it at a good bookstore. That's where I got mine.
But Amazon has the Mr. Gasket.
Yeah, they sure do. I have that too, but I've got it on a motor downstairs, a 6.0.
Yeah.
Are you just talking about using this on nitro planes, or are you talking gas?
Nitro. Well, now when I say a 6.0, I'm talking about a Chevy LS 6.0. It's a car motor, truck motor. But no, you can get the one at the bookstore that and use it on the model motors. It's about so big, it's clear, and it works just fine. And you just put a pointer on it, and it don't matter where you attach the pointer to the motor, as long as you bring the 0 around to the pointer at top dead center, you're at 0, and then you adjust from there. And it's not rocket science, folks.
Yeah. So where I got my torque wrench was from Darrell Caddy, DARROLCADY.com.
Yeah.
And he has a real cool little torque wrench, inch pounds with Allen wrenches and stuff. You know, he's a pylon race, you know, pylon guy, RC guy, and he has a lot of cool stuff.
He makes some of the best retracts you've ever seen.
Yeah. And then let me see let me look on Amazon for the.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Saying thanks on behalf of Joe Mata.
Let me see.
Hey, Phil,
Yes, sir.
what's the weight of a Fox 59? You know, offhand?
I've forgotten.
Okay.
I used to know.
So what do you guys run those in generally? Old time planes?
Old time.
Okay.
Triple Tree doesn't do it. I don't know why, but Triple Tree doesn't have old time. But we, for 20 years, all I flew was old time.
Okay.
Bill, we only got 3 people to show up. That's why.
Oh, that would do it. Well, if you have it, I know you'll get 3 because Tom Looper's talking about coming. I'm talking about coming. Buddy Barbie will come. I can't remember. I've got a guy that I have a mental block with his name, and I think I might have to think Kermit Payne. Kermit will come, and I don't know who all else, but I'm sure those 4 will come, but I don't know who else. We might
You're going to run combat at Triple Tree. You might shut down the RC fly-in when they see that stuff happening.
I hope so.
Honest to
Especially when
God,
they see 2 of them go.
there's nothing in modeling more fun to spectate at, I think, than a combat match.
Yeah,
and I'm telling you.
For sure.
Yep.
When you got guys trying to fly a stunt pattern and you see them looking over their shoulder because they want to see what just happened at the combat circle, you know something's going on.
That's it.
Combat is always the crowd pleaser.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it seems like the part that interests more people quicker is the part that costs the participants the most. It's when they have a crank to crank. That's always a painful experience.
Hey, speaking of combat, is Howard on here? Yeah, Howard's on here.
Howard's here.
I got a message from Roman last week that he was shipping our next 20 airplanes. That was January 5th. And, it's always a crapshoot. You never know if it's going to take a week or 8 weeks for that stuff to make it out of Eastern Europe to get here. I got a notification today that our models landed in New York. They're in New York City. So 11 days from Kyiv, Ukraine to New York City. Now, how long it takes from there, I don't know how long they're going to be in customs before they get released, but that was pretty good.
Fly a couple of them.
Because our last batch, when it left Ukraine, it took almost 5.5 weeks to get to New York City. But this batch made it in 11 days. So that was good news.
Yeah, Greg Hill and my other friend Stuart Mossman, they ordered 10 planes from the Yushchenko Shark. I'm not Yushchenko, but the
Yuvenko.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, can you check your chat, please?
Yes, I will.
Thanks, buddy.
What do you got there, Al? Is that the?
Yeah, I just looked on Amazon. So here's one. It's 6 3/4 inches. It's a degree wheel for a car that you degree your camshaft with your hot rodder. You can advance cam timing. So this is like $18 plus shipping.
Right. Thank you very much.
And
you can take that image and print it on a printer and blow it up to the size you need. Stick that with some double stick glue or something onto a piece of aluminum or even a piece of plastic and make your own.
Here you go. Yeah. This is called Motion Pro. That's similar to the one I have.
Thank you very much.
Just
Al.
like what I have.
Yeah. I mean, it's $18 on Amazon plus shipping. If you're a Prime member, shipping's for free.
Yeah.
It's included. So. But
Hey,
that's
Joe,
what
let me know if you got that. Yeah, let me know in the chat box if you're listening.
that's what I use to set up all my engines. My racing and even stunt engines. There was a thing about the Brodak 40 when it first came out. And the first couple of ones didn't run good. So, I had to know why. And so I put it on the degree wheel and compared it to the newer version and found out why.
What was it?
On the Brodak 40, most stunt engines, the side ports hit before the rear port. So the timing difference. On the early versions, they had the rear port, hitting before the side ports.
Oh, brother. Okay.
So the fix was just put a modern. I actually had an old 40. When somebody gave me the original one. The fix is I got a piston and liner from Brodak, and of course I had to get one. The match. They don't come in match sets, but they were taking engines apart.
Yeah.
Because when I ordered it from them, like that wasn't in an engine, it wasn't a match set. The piston was a push through, so that was no good. So they actually took engines and they sold the parts. So they gave me a match set. I put that in there in the old case, and it ran, fantastic.
Yeah, I got one of the early ones, and I don't know what was wrong with it. Just couldn't make it run exactly right. And Roy Trantham wanted me to send it to him. So I did. So I gave it to Tommy, and Tommy sent it to Roy Trantham. When we got it back, I put it on my Jameson Special, and it's been on there ever since.
Okay.
Motor runs beautiful. I don't know what they did to it. One of the local guys, they labeled them as Trouble Stars, but I've got
Trouble
5 of them, and I love them. Yeah.
Trouble Stars.
I've got one of the early ones that I haven't done anything with. I sent it back, and one of the guys checking engines for Brodak said, "Oh, this is okay," and sent it back to me, but it still didn't run right.
Well, some of there was the insides of the spaces are different, but that really didn't do anything. All I did was swap the piston and liner, and actually the early ones had a higher compression head on it, so it would break too hard. And I picked up a later version head and put that on that, and that cured that. But,
I think
our club runs a lot of Brodak 40s, so we have them down. Have the combination down pretty good.
Good.
I've been in a lot of engines in my life, upping up combat motors and taming them down for stunt. And I tore Brodak apart, checked everything I could possibly check, and I couldn't find a thing wrong with it. And it had to be the biggest dog on the planet.
Really?
But you could not barely do a loop on his Pathfinder profiles.
Oh, you probably had an early one.
You talk about mine, Gordy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. After you got it back and it still wouldn't run, I tore it apart.
The early one where the timing's wrong.
Well, I don't know. I had one at the same time. Mine ran fine.
Yeah.
Mine was from the first batch that hit the shore.
What?
Mine was from the first batch that hit the shore.
Yeah. I remember when I was at Brodak one year when it first came out and somebody was flying one and that engine was really anemic. I said, like, holy mackerel, that's when they first came out. But I mean, but now, I mean, they're really strong. Our Brodak, the guys that run the Brodak 40s has the power of an LA 46.
They're a good motor. I ran my first one just last summer and I had no trouble with it. Broke it in good and put it on an airplane. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We welcome Robert Gore. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Thanks for coming in.
Hey, Robert.
Thanks for putting up with me.
What's everybody building?
Well, you missed it. You want me to show it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's a beautiful
All
plan.
right.
Beautiful
Well,
wing.
let's see. I showed you the center section last week.
Yeah.
built some more of my wing,
All right.
but I got problem with my wing jig.
Oh,
Boy, do you
Oh
ever.
Lord, you got a heck of a warp there. What a
I
warp.
can't
awesome,
understand it. I
Dennis.
put it on rods and everything else, and
where's the
type, it looks
fuselage
nice. And
gonna,
it, geez,
where you
I
gonna put
like
the fuselage?
what's that?
Where you
God,
gonna put
what
the
a warp.
fuselage? At the bend?
No, no, no.
Look at this.
There you go.
Wow.
That's nice, Dennis.
Nice.
Cool,
cool.
chigger.
That is nice, Dennis.
That's
That's
it.
going to be cool.
Looks good.
Yeah, they are. There's just so much going on with it and everything like that. It's kind of a blast. So
I want to see you
Something
finish
different.
that. I want to see you finish that electric Bearcat for purely selfish reasons.
all
I
right.
want one. I want one. That's a nice looking airplane.
Well, it's a Pat Johnson airplane, so I'm pretty doggone confident it's going to perform well too. So
Yeah.
he says no flaps, and I don't know. Haven't had a flapless airplane designed in this century. So
Do you know who Dennis Thomas is, Denny? Denny Thomas up in your
I've
part of
heard
the
the
world.
name. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
had
know
one of
Denny
those
Thomas.
Prodac. Huh?
I know Denny Thomas for
Yeah,
sure
Denny's
from
a-
Products.
He built one of those. Yeah, he built one a couple years ago at Brodax. Had it flew it some.
Denny used to be a Union Model Airplane Club member,
Yeah.
Union, New Jersey, back in the 70s.
He's a really nice guy.
He is a nice guy. No doubt
Not-
about it.
So how'd his
What?
Corsair fly? Do you like it?
Oh no,
Oh, okay.
he built one. I don't know how it flew that much.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis was a better builder. He flew combat and I think he was quite successful in pylon, wasn't he? Anybody know that? I think he did very well in pylon back in the day
Okay.
in combat.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That
Keith's
looks
got
like a straight wing there. So
What do we got?
It's
Looks
a
nice.
replacement big job.
Nice.
Oh, it sure is.
Look at that.
And he just got
good.
through building his
That is
chiseler,
sweet.
and now he's already got the big job almost finished. Wow.
Yeah, it won't be long before we can start paint on it, really.
He's a man on a mission. Look at him go. Woo-hoo.
And it took a lot of time. The block of wood now is a cowl. And still has a little bit of work to do on it, but it's starting to get, the cow's almost done.
Well, I'm glad to see an engine in it.
Yeah, it works.
Is that a double star, Roy Trantham?
Yes. The one I had was destroyed, but this one has another Roy Trantham double star 60 that Leroy Black sent to me.
Looks nice.
Well, that was nice of Leroy. Wow.
excellent.
And, this thing was a real bear to do, but
I bet it was.
particularly
Looks
getting that.
great.
Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Great.
That's some
Wow.
serious work.
That's gorgeous. That is just
Is that a
gorgeous.
single block of wood?
Yes,
All right.
Don't
That's
drop
key for
that
you.
sucker.
Now, does that engine have a pipe on it?
no.
Side exhaust.
Oh,
And
okay, so that's just for air then.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just
Okay.
Boy, boy.
I kept thinking, I thought about building one of those and putting a 46 on it, rear exhaust, and
Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah, let it blow out the tail. But I don't know. I think it would.
That's
I
smart.
think it would. I'm sure it would work, and I'm sure it would pull the airplane. But probably have
I've never
to make it
seen
a
one
little
of
bit
these
larger.
things. I've never seen one of these things with less than 60 on it, so I don't know. It's a 52-inch wing.
Well, I mean, Charlie flies a 59 on his.
Yeah,
He's had long shaft and the short shaft versions.
yeah.
I have a
It's 580 squares.
It's that big? I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah.
That's a big airplane.
I thought it looked bigger.
Yeah, but it's just, it sure sounds like a 46 would fly it though.
Oh, yeah, it
580
would.
square, certainly.
I think you need to keep it light down in the, like the 45 ounce range.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the darn thing, if you can keep it light, maybe you can get away with it without having to put too much weight in the nose. It's typical old time
Yeah,
airplane.
it's such a short nose. Look how short it is.
Put a Tiger 60 in it and be done with it.
Yeah,
What the guy in Florida did.
Tiger 60 would be nice on this.
I have
But
a
the fuel tank comes way back into here.
Wow. Yeah, I bet.
The guy in Florida that makes the propellers, I can't think of his name right now. I hate when I can't remember people's names.
Steve Wilkes.
Bob Whitney.
Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes. He's got one with a Tiger 60 in it, and I mean that thing roars. But man, it'll come off the ground in 6 inches.
Yeah. A 46 will pull that thing around like a combat plane.
Oh yeah.
I have a 46 VF on an 85 ounce stunt plane. It pulls it no problem.
Yeah, I've got one on a Thunder Cardinal. It's about that heavy, and it pulls it.
Yeah.
So Keith, is that going to make the make Tucson?
It's going to be close.
Yeah, I was going to say it. You got time, depending on how much you got to wait for weather to paint or anything like that.
Yeah.
But
Well, the landing gear and the wheel pants are about ready to be formed up, and with that, finish off the canopy, cockpit, put the canopy on, and put the rudders on. That's not going to take much, and we can start putting paint on it.
That's going to be a beautiful airplane.
Keith, you're a monster builder.
That thing looks beautiful.
It does. Outstanding.
If you ever see a Keith airplane that don't look beautiful, I want you to take a picture of it and send it to me. Because I've known him a long time and I haven't seen one yet. I wouldn't have been tickled to have.
Phil, that would be for the believe it or not file. All right.
I mean that.
Yeah, that's it. That would be the no, I don't believe it.
Keith's going to get one that doesn't look so good.
Yeah, I bet you he's going to go get an FW-190 from the 70s that got crashed. Because that's the only thing.
He doesn't build a bad airplane, Joe.
The only way he can have one that's ugly is it's been crashed.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good.
That didn't sound good at all.
Not at all.
Oh, that was me. I'm taking props out of a bag.
Oh, I bet that was Keith.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. You had us all worried here. Way to go.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorting the Phil Granderson pops, Howard.
Look at that.
There's the Snoopy companion.
That is
That comes from Tom.
Cool.
Keith, did that come from Tommy?
No, I did this one.
Oh, very
Get it, beat it up, show it closer so we can see it.
Well,
I touched something wrong and I'm looking at you on a 3-inch screen. I
You just did a header.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That is awesome.
How many airplanes that been in?
this will be number 4, I think.
Don't use it.
No.
That looks like bad luck, man.
Oh, man.
That is cool.
That's very darn nice. I've seen that
cool.
before.
Seems like I have, but it seems like it was in the Chiseler.
I think Chiseler's where I saw it.
It was.
Bad luck, big job.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep.
That's great.
Even got glasses.
I like that hat.
Right, my goodness. Yep.
I like that hat, but it seems like the first time I saw that thing and noticed it, Tom Lay was there with a hat like that that had a beanie on top of it, a propeller, and it just flipped me out.
That's an anachronism, isn't it? Because Peanuts didn't come out until the modern stunt pattern, I don't think. So you should use Pogo or the Cats and Jammer Kids or something.
Is that Balderdash?
No.
After
A lot of people don't even know about Cats and Jammer Kids, so
I don't.
What about Kilroy? Anybody know who Kilroy is?
I know Kilroy, but I don't know about Katzenjammer kids.
No, neither.
Well, a lot of people, that, are worried about authenticity for old time stunts. So I just thought I'd put that.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that, Howard.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, Howard.
Oh, Lord.
What's the guy that had his hand on the steering wheel like that?
I don't know. He's using Charlie
Oh.
Brown. Next thing you know, he's going to be using an electric motor. You know what I mean? But,
Oh, don't go
Yeah.
there.
well, maybe not. Maybe not that. That might be a
Put
stretch.
me to
You oughta-
sleep.
You ought to see the pilot in my
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the airplane, but anyway, I've got an airplane that's got Mr. Magoo in it, and all you see is this big helmet, and there's a head sticking in it, and he's got this goofy looking smile and two little slits for eyes. It's just cute. Everybody looks at it and says, "What does that say on the helmet, Magoo? You don't remember Jim Backus and Mr. Magoo? God, you're young." So anyway, I rib them with that, and then Tommy just shakes his head and says, "Not everybody knows about Mr. Magoo."
Yeah, I remember
maybe
that.
maybe not, but
Hey, Dennis,
I always
Yeah.
liked it.
you think we need to separate the glow and the electric eyes at the banquet?
I still fly both.
I don't know. I don't know. You might have to
Humbug,
separate
that's the
the
name of the
Hoosiers
airplane.
from everybody else, but
Oh, there we go.
yeah,
What is
everybody, the Hoosier,
at
the
this.
Hoosier tenderloin people away from the California vegans or something
Yeah,
like
looks
that. I
nice.
don't know.
Well,
I am
put
an
me with the
ethnic.
meat eaters. Put me with the meat eaters in.
What do you got there, Gordon?
What is that?
This is I call it the Heinz 57.
Oh,
I designed this in 1963.
Wow.
Holy crap.
And it started out as a Nova. Then I put electrical tips on it, pushed it out to 56-inch wingspan. And then my own fuselage with the conquistador rudder. So now you know why it's a Heinz 57.
That's it.
I remember the
great.
orange one you had. That's a beautiful airplane. It flies
Yeah.
great too.
Ray Firkins has built one that done real well.
Oh, it's pretty. Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
yeah, I've seen
Why don't
Ray
you pub-
Ferguson.
Why don't you publish the plans to that thing, Gordon?
Pardon?
Why don't you publish the plans to that thing?
Well, John's been doing all my publishing work.
Thing is,
Okay,
there's no
John.
place to publish anymore.
One thing I'd like to show you, Roger Kramer got onto me. This cow is set up to fly the way it is right now. And this is how easy it is to take it off.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness.
Oh,
Nice.
Sweet.
Got a
Spring
little,
latch. Okay.
I guess, a lot in RC.
yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the way we did it on sailplanes.
The front is keyed, and as soon as you drop it down,
I like that.
it's solid.
That's
I
cool.
like that. That's neat.
That's looking good, Gordy.
Pardon?
So that's looking good.
Well, I got to go over with a fine tooth comb, and I'm going to start covering it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That model next to you looks so much like a dog.
Yeah.
That's my Winston. Extremely smart. Does a lot of tricks. Anyway,
Hasn't taught him how to launch airplanes yet, though.
Nice
That
airplane.
is nice. I like
That is a
Gordon.
nice.
That was very
airplane.
nice, Gordy. Thank you very much for showing
Indeed.
that.
Very good.
since everybody was showing airplanes, I'd show them my project.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like it.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Nice
John.
work.
It's gonna be an open cockpit, with just a windscreen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought the other one had a canopy on it.
He did. He
Okay.
could go both ways.
Uh-oh. I ain't touching that.
Had
John,
a
if
bubble canopy on it.
yeah, John, if you'll draw that up after the two that I'm working on of Gordon's, I'd like to build one of those. I
Yeah.
happen to have a nobler wing downstairs.
Oh, I got it pretty well drawn up. It's just
Okay.
Yeah.
a little bit.
I put it on the scale. The way you see it now is 23 ounces.
Wow.
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 That's great.
Well, you're lighter than I thought. I was going to guess 25.
You know, I
You
would
gotta-
be so tempted to just put a T-bird wing in it, not change a thing.
Do what?
Almost be use a Thunderbird wing.
Yeah.
be darn similar. You know, it certainly would fit the other shapes of the airplane. So
that wouldn't be.
Well, it's got a thicker airfoil too than the Nova.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Gordy,
Yes, sir.
have you got a lightning bolt McCoy that you can get that 21 piston into it?
I do.
You're gonna do that for that airplane?
That was in the Banquet that went away on a test flight up the Northwest Regionals.
Oh. So you're gonna resurrect it?
It ran perfect prior to that time.
Yeah. Are you gonna put it in that airplane there?
No, this is getting the Aero Tiger 36.
Oh, you can't go wrong with that either.
Oh, a real man's motor.
Well, I kind of wish I'd put my Brodak in it.
Okay.
The Brodak's got a little more power, I think, than the 36 does.
Oh Lord. What'd you do to your Brodak?
He's got a good one.
It's
He
just
must have a good one because I remember.
put a
I
smaller
remember.
Venturi in it.
Put a what?
Put a smaller Venturi in it.
Smaller Venturi.
Yeah.
Smaller. Some of them had 311 still.
Over 300.
Yeah, 304 or something, yeah.
And I put in a 280. And it just tames them down so they run more like a real stunt motor. And they don't have hard brakes. When I did my orange one with the solid canopy on it, I was at Tucson and I had all these props laid out. And I was trying to slow the motor down, just load it down so the airplane didn't fly so fast. And Bill Warridge come by and says, Gordy, what you doing? I said, I'm trying to find a prop. And he says, well, you can try one of mine, but I don't think that Brodak will turn it. So he brought one over and let me put it on there, tamed the motor right down. It ran perfect after that.
Oh.
Didn't like the prop that they were running on the Aero Tiger 36.
An APC 11.5 by 4 is hard to beat on a Brodak.
I always had great luck at the APC stock 10.5 in a dead 4-stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I went to a 3-bladed prop on that when I got home, just because of the way they look. They tamed the corners down. So anyway, I found out they kept wanting to come and visit me anything above 45 degrees, and found out I had the fuselage in there crooked.
That'll do it.
You know, had a beautiful finish on it, weighed 39 ounces.
Whoa.
And my daughter Cassie wanted to wipe it off, so she stood it up to wipe it off. And I'm talking to Bob Whiteley, and I says, does that fuselage look crooked to you? And he says, hell yeah, it does.
Sounds like Bob.
I hate airplanes that want to come visit me.
Yeah.
Away. I stomp them.
Yeah, just get rid of them. I agree, Joe. Just get rid of the damn thing.
Stomp them.
Start again.
I gave it to a friend of mine that wanted one of my airplanes.
What did he do to you?
Is that a
He's
friend?
not your friend anymore, huh? Yeah.
Well, so it's sitting in his hobby room collecting dirt.
Okay.
That's a good place for it.
Yeah.
I've got 3 in restaurants doing that.
Yeah, he'll never fly it. But he just,
No.
you know, I've known him since he was probably 14 years old. I'll tell you a funny story about him. He's really shy, even, you know, he's late 50s now, and he's still really shy. And he's better than he was when he was a teenager, but he came over to my house one day and he's kind of hee-hawing around. And I said, Brad, what's the matter? And he said, well, I got to ask you a question. And I said, well, ask it. He says, would you let me borrow your 55 to take my date on a senior prom?
Nice.
I says, you want to borrow my 55? Yeah, you can borrow it. He about fell over. Boy, he says he was the talk of the town there driving it to the
prom.
Wow.
He was tickled to death.
I bet.
And he does a lot for me now. You know, he need plumbing work, he comes and does it for free. You name it, he comes and he's my go-to man for my handyman.
He remembers.
Gordon, was that the one that had the 6-cylinder with the 3 2s on it? The 55. Was that the 55 that had the 6-cylinder with the 3 2s and flames on the front?
No, that was what's his name? He passed away here several years back.
Yeah, that's a shame.
What's his name? He came to the contest. In fact, that 6-cylinder, he had 2 1 barrels on it.
Yeah, 2. Okay, it was just 2 1 barrels. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember he raised the hood and I looked at that engine. Oh my goodness. It looked like a 6-cylinder out of a Corvette, 54 Corvette or something.
No, it was the stock motor for 55.
Not with those 2 singles on it, was it?
Well, he added that.
I figured. It didn't look stock, but that was a nice looking car.
Yes. I told him to put some different 1-piece bumpers on it. And he said, well, I don't have the money for 1-piece bumpers.
Yeah.
I found some for mine. Mine was
yeah, I know. Thank you very much, Dennis.
Oh, sorry.
Sit down.
Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it. And I was just put out, but mine was buried.
Getting back to
the basement.
Now I'm fascinated by the car
yes,
stories
Howard.
too, but I just thought I'd pick on you a little bit there. That's all. So
I'm
wasn't picking on them. I was picking on you. So
it was
Howard.
Alan.
Alan Brickhouse. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan Brickhouse. Okay. And then go ahead, Stuart.
I just wondered, has anybody got all the names? Because when I send these Snoopies out, I'm going to need addresses for everybody. Has somebody got that I can get it from? Or
oh boy.
I think everybody should contact you.
If Charles don't have mine, he can call me tomorrow and I'll get it for him.
I'd like somebody that got a whole list with all the addresses. I didn't know if Gary might have it.
Charles, I think he has mine. If he don't, he's got my
I do
phone
have your
number.
address. I saw it a couple days ago. But it's on my phone.
You have a lot of the guys' addresses?
Not all of them. I've been meaning to get everyone's address and everyone's email, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But Gary has a pretty good collection of them.
Yeah, Gary's got them. That's right.
So maybe if you communicate on Stunthangar, you guys can DM each other or PM each other on Stunthangar.
Okay, well, if Gary's got a good selection there of the addresses, then
I'll send it to you, Stuart.
Okay.
Then if we need the PayPal address.
Yeah,
we'll need that.
I'll worry about that once we get to it. We'll go from there. I just wanted to make sure that I try and get the address and stuff. So who to talk
Very
to.
cool. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Somebody else got a question or whatever.
Now, guys, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Somebody's wanting to go outside for a walk, and it's midnight here. So almost.
No.
Y'all be good.
All right, thank you, Phil, for coming in.
Take care, Phil.
All right, Phil, I'm right behind you. I'm checking out too, guys.
All right,
Take
thank
it
you,
easy,
Al.
Al.
Thanks for the engine stuff, Al.
Yeah,
That's
thanks,
great.
Al.
Yeah, very good show and tell. Great information, Al. Thank you. Well, we might as well just go ahead and transition to the after party.
I want to tell a story first.
Yeah, go and tell a story first, Howard. Go ahead.
Getting back to Gordy's 55 Chevrolet, but just to start, I met a Swede at the 2014 World Champ. He was flying a Pathfinder, and not only that, but he had a 55 Chevy. I put him in touch with Gordon.
Was that me?
Cool.
Where was this at? This
24. It was in Poland, 2014.
World champs.
Your Curvina. I put him in touch with you. Didn't I?
I'm lost. That's too far back.
It was a gentleman at the 2014 World Championships. He had a Pathfinder and a 55. And he put him in touch with you.
Oh, who was it that had it?
Your Curvina was his name, from Sweden.
Oh. Ugh.
It's hell to get old.
You get brain dead when you get old.
Yeah.
I know.
But to hold all that stuff, it's. But hey, gentlemen, anyways, thank you so much. I can't, every show is it's just organically grown, and it just amazes me how we have these good shows, and there's no itinerary, and it just happens organically. It just blows me away. Another good show. Thank you so much for everybody coming in.
You too, Charles.
Thank you very much. Hey, so let's get back together. Maybe between now and Friday, have a chance to be in your shop. Maybe unlike me, even when it stops raining it's going to stop raining Wednesday. So I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but the field is still a mess. So I most likely am not going to be able to fly unless I have floats on my thing.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, Joe Mata asked me, was I serious? Are there planes with floats? I said, yeah, I've seen some. I saw them on a Wendy Onowski video. He was somewhere and someone was flying and they had on their stunt plane, and they had wheels too. So it was wheels and kind of floats combination. But yeah, that's for real, Joe. Anyway, so hopefully you have a chance to go do some flying or building and come back Friday and tell us all about it. We're just going to end the live stream, and some of us are going to stay for the after party. But thank you very much.